Hello, lost souls. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. I didn't initially have any plans for this video specifically, so I decided to grab a bunch of my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards and let Spirit guide me in building a deck for today's video. Um, I have a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I mean a lot. Um, Literally a lot of a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and that's just what's that's just what's in this right here. See, I actually have another one of those containers that's not completely full over on a shelf, to my left, or yeah, to my left. But those are really old, really old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Some of the very first Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I ever bought, that I ever, um, from back when I first started collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and they're really fragile because they're really old. So I don't use those cards. They sit over there. They're just kind of you know, they're there for nostalgia's sake, right? But anyway, as I was going through these cards and looking to build a deck, I saw a bunch of these like really cute, really child like cards, like this. Um and I thought that, you know, why don't we do some inner child work, right? Why don't we take a deep dive into the inner child and see what comes up, right? So that's what I'm gonna do today with these Yu-Gi-Oh cards and the Star Dragons Oracle card deck as some clarifier cards or you know just to add to the story if need be. Um, but yeah, let's uh let's get into this. I think I'm going to do a 3 card draw this time around as opposed to the 6 card draw I did last video, right? I think we're only going to do 3 cards this time. I think that will be plenty for this reading, you know. Spirits, we invite you here today for your wisdom, your guidance. Mother Hecate, we invite you into this reading as well. We invite the, the essence, the energy, and the very being of our inner child to come forward to speak on behalf of the collective. We ask that you give us insight into the things that we are needing to heal within your very essence, in your essence, in your likeness, and in your divine vessel, spirit, whatever you may call it. Thank you and blessed be. All right, let's get into this reading. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Let's see what the inner child has to say. Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. The first card that comes up, vanilla. As you can see in this card, the bunny, which looks very confused, right? It looks very confused. It doesn't know what the hell is happening. But at the same time, you have the hearts around it, right? So it's confused. This is a confusion of self-love, right? The inner child is confused about how to love itself, how to show itself love, right? And you may have, like me, grown up in a house that was in a family and in a house that was very abusive or chaotic. You know, maybe your parents weren't home most of the time, so you really didn't get that loving, nurturing, caring uh, upbringing, and you're not sure how to show the inner child is from the past is, just not sure how to love itself, right? Because you didn't grow up with that, you know. You grew up in a hellhole. Um, but yeah, the it seems let's get into the next card. Starlight, star bright. This is imagination, right? This is the imagination. You may have, as you've grown up, lost that imagination. You've lost the ability to harness that childlike creativity and desire. You've lost the ability to, you know, um, imagine, uh, you know, take a deep dive into your imagination and really get into, making things up and creating something new and being in a state of just, awe and wonder of, you know, your own mind and your own creative process, right? You might have lost all of that growing up. You might have had that kind of, you know, uh, conditioned out of you, right? You might have been conditioned not to think that way, not to think as the child. So I think the inner child is definitely asking you to um, go back to that, childlike sense of wonder, that childlike sense of creativity and imagination and wonder. Go back to that and find yourself. Go back and find yourself in that creativity, in that in your child's sense of wonder. And you might be, trying to block out or block out that childlike um, behavior, imagination, you know, creativity. You might you might be lost in the societal idea that an adult cannot act like a child anymore, right? You have to act mature. You have to be mature. Uh, and that's just not true. That's a bunch of hockey, Um, that's the system trying to control you. You know, it's the system telling you what you should be doing. It's the matrix. That's the false self saying that you're now that you're older, you can't be that child anymore. You can't act like that anymore. You can't be playful like that anymore. And that's just not true. You know, be yourself the way that you were as a child. Be that be that you were when you were a child, and do it. uh, do it do it for yourself, and do it because you can, you know. Don't try to, fall in line with what everybody else expects from you. Because if you're constantly doing what everybody expects from you, especially as an adult, you're going to be miserable. You will definitely be miserable. Your life will be really bad. Um, emotionally, yeah, especially emotionally, it will be just really bad. I know that that's been the case for me. Um, and in trying to um act like the adult that I'm supposed to be, um, I find that it's really boring and bland, and it really doesn't bring me any kind of joy to try to be in that state all the time. So, if that's what's going on with you right now, if you're blocking out that inner child, by trying to act like an adult, then, the inner child is telling you that you need to knock it off. You need to stop pretending to be something that you're not, right? The inner child wants you to be playful again. It wants you, the inner child wants you to enjoy your life and what you do and how you interact with the world and how you interact with yourself, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be with other people, just yourself. How you interact with yourself is very important. And sometimes, being that playful child can definitely uh help you when you're going through mental struggles, right? To turn it into, like a game, a playful game. If you can do that with your with your mental problems, then, you know it becomes fun. Uh, uh it becomes a game, right? And then when things come up that, things are when those mental health problems come up that are causing you blockages and problems with whatever that whatever is going on, whether that be work or home life or friends and family, whatever it may be. If you can, kind of play your way through that, it's going to help you tremendously um to get over those bumps, to get past those issues a lot quicker than it would have if you had tried to go the adult route and just logic your way out of it, right? I think that's what a lot of people these days try to do, is they try to logic their way out of all of their problems instead of, just going back to that inner child and turning it into a game, playing your way through it, being um, just being in that uh childhood innocence where, problems are not really problems. They're just, the next big challenge to overcome, right? It's the next big game. Like being, like, you know, way back when monkey bars were a thing, you know, as a child, some of us might not have had the best arm strength, but, you know, you got up on those bars and you tried to do it anyway, right? Even if you fell off, you can just go back to the beginning and start over again and work at it until you can get all the way across those monkey bars, right? So, do that with, everything in life. See everything in life as a game, and those, those hardships and those challenges, they become less burdensome on your mental health. Yeah, yeah, I think I covered that pretty well. So let's move on to the next card, the Sea Archiver. This is, this makes me think of like school, right? You're cramming in a lot of knowledge at once and you don't know what to do with it, right? This is it's a lot to take in. And your inner child is might be telling you that it's time to slow down, you're trying to learn things way too quickly. You're trying to cram in information here and there and everywhere, and you're not taking the time to really stop and understand it. To to really study one thing at a time and really get an understanding of what's going on. And this could also be that you have a lot of childhood memories that you need to comb through and to work through. You know, you might have a lot of information in the back of your head that you've locked away that you haven't touched in forever, and your inner child is telling you it's time to go back to those memories, to those thoughts, to those emotions, and dig them back up so that you can, start studying them, start understanding them, and work through them, um, so that your inner child can can really shine without having all of those mental emotional blockages, those memories that might not be so fun for the inner child, that's keeping that inner child, kind of chained up, uh in in their own, uh and chained up in their own mind with these problems, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all that comes to mind with that card. But yeah, let's get into some oracle cards with the Star Dragons oracle. And let's see what comes up for us today. Let's see what comes up for us today. Let's do a what are we gonna do? Ooh, let's do guidance, right? Let's do some guidance. Guidance and wisdom for the collective. For the collective's highest good. To show us what we should be working on with our inner child. How we should overcome these obstacles. How we should overcome these specific parts of our inner child that is keeping us held down in the false self and in the ego. Allow us to be guided to figure out how to work through these problems today, Spirit. Thank you and blessed be. Challenge. Standing up for your rights. It's an interesting card. Come up. Oh, we have time. on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's time. It's time for you to confront that inner child and the parts of the inner child that we discussed here today. It's time for you to confront that, to work with that, to go through that and heal those parts of the inner child. So let's look this up in the book and see what it has to say about it. I can find it in the book. Book is a little bit weird about how it does things. I'm trying to find the index so I can find this specific card, but I don't know where the index is. Doesn't seem to be an index. Either I'm just missing it. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be an index. So I'm just gonna have to look through this page by page to figure out where the heck this card is. Here we go. Alright, challenge. Standing up for your rights. Time to solve that problem. Conquer your fears and foes. Stand powerful and strong. And stand powerful and strong, and claim your rights. You are a fierce warrior who is fully equipped to take on insurmountable obstacles. Ball your fist and unsheath your sword. Your sword. The time has come for action. Slay the dragon. Let's see. Wisdom of the dragon. You will only be stronger through every challenge and obstacle. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Respect the difficulty and respect the difficulty of the situation. No matter how difficult, the hardship will give you wisdom. Are you strong enough to face it? And then it gives you an invocation here. I'll read that out. Confront a challenge confront a challenge in your life with daring and bravery. Don't avoid the subject or fall back on niceties. It's time to confront this head on. Stand up for your rights and face the challenge. I think that that card perfectly encapsulates this inner child reading right now. But yeah, it's time to face those challenges. It's time to face those parts of the inner child that you've been ignoring, that you've been putting off. It's time. It's time. And as the cards say, as the spirits have said, you have all that you need right now to face those challenges. You've got all the power that you need. You have all the emotional physical and um, spiritual support that you need right now. You're not alone. You know, the spirits have your back. Your spirit team has your back. And the spirit team is telling you it's time to face those challenges. The inner child, those challenges of the inner child, right? It's time to face those challenges. And, I will be doing so right along with you. This reading is as much for myself as it is for you guys out there. So, know that while you're going through and facing these challenges that we've discussed today in this video, that I will be doing so myself. I'm not just a spiritual teacher. I'm also a uh, I am also an apprentice in learning. I am constantly an apprentice of learning, right? As a spiritual teacher, it's important that we are always learning and always studying and always improving. That's what it means to be a spiritual teacher. That you never allow yourself to believe that you have completely learned everything that there is to learn, because there is always something new to learn, no matter what it is. And anyone who thinks they have it all figured out, they're not being they're not being real. They're not being realistic. They are um they are as much trapped in the ego as the rest of the the unconscious people out there, right? They're as much stuck in the ego as the rest of them. They haven't truly awakened to the reality that um they are just egoic. They are completely encapsulated by the ego and the false self to think that they know it all, right? I don't think that anyone in any one lifetime could ever know everything there is to know. I don't. I think only point in time that we can know everything there is to know is when we return to our true self. When we return to source energy, to God, um, to whatever you want to call it. Until we return and become one again with the all, with the I am. We will not truly know everything. Um, but yeah, that will be all for today's video. I think this was a really good video. I think we did a lot of good work in this video. We did we confronted a lot of inner childhood issues, right? We took a deep dive into the abyss, and the inner child came forward and explained to us what needed working on, right? But yeah, that will be all for this video. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Give me your opinion. You know, tell me your childhood, your inner child struggles and issues and things like that. Comments are always open for discussion and debate. Uh, yeah. I hope this video has earned your subscription, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.